What's happening, guys? This is Logan Robinson from NoleGameday.com. We're here live with a special guest. Super stoked about this one. We've got Florida State star defensive back, one of the hardest hitters on the field. We got Earl Little Jr. with me, along with Dustin Lewis, our editor-in-chief at NoleGameday.com. But Earl, how we doing? Good afternoon. Enjoying the bye week?
Yeah, definitely. I'm doing good. Can't complain. Yeah, we're definitely enjoying this bye week that we got here from the early parts of the season.
Heck yeah, man. Also, too, shout out to our friends over there at Popeye's partnership here. We'll talk a little bit more about that with you, Earl, as you're kicking off that with them. But I want to start off just right off the bat, going back to your week one experience being inside Doak Campbell Stadium. I was there in the stands, wasn't up there in the press box, got to feel the vibe, how loud it was in pregame, saw you were hyped up as well. Tell us about that atmosphere in Doak Campbell Stadium and for that win to get against Alabama.
Yeah, man, the atmosphere in Doak on Saturday when we took down Alabama. It was second to none. That's something I'll never forget. That war chant was going all night, man. Had my blood pumping. Y'all seen it on the field, and I just had fun with the guys out there, man.
Just following up on that, I'm sure starting off the season with a top 10 victory has got to be pretty sweet, but maybe even a little bit sweeter for you, having a career performance against your former team. Just what kind of motivation did you have going into that game, and what it feel like to come out on top?
Yeah, man, just my approach to that game, and I was telling the guys this up until this point, just working at having like the summer workouts and everything, that we knew who we were playing, and we were gonna approach the week, like it was no other, how we were gonna approach every other week. But yeah, we definitely, bought in. I'm proud of the guys for that. Everybody was locked in on that week, and we went out there and had a great week of preparation. Everybody was very dominant throughout the week of preparation, and y'all see what that led to. And it led to us being victorious. And yeah, I'm proud of the coaching staff, and I'm proud of all my teammates for coming together as one and just dominating.
Mm-hmm. So I know that's only week one, and I know it was an opponent of Alabama, but that was you move on. I think that's something that we're starting to get a vibe from your team. I don't know if it's how it's coming specifically from Norvell and Tony White, etc. But what has that message been sent on a week-to-week basis from the coaching staff that, okay, that was week one, but it's been very telling. This coach said this coaching staff wants you to improve on a lot of things, and Mike Norvell said it point blank. He felt like they should have scored more against Alabama. What is your thoughts on the coaching staff and their message and how that is right now?
Yeah, I feel like we have a great set of dudes, up top running the show, and just putting us all in the right positions to be successful. And yeah, we what was that second question? My bad. I kind of got lost there.
No, really about like Tony White. He's talked about it in some of his press conferences, and he's been point blank with you guys that yes, might have performed well in some areas, but there's still a lot of ways to go for you guys to really truly show what you guys can do moving forward throughout the season.
Yeah, definitely. His message is really just be where your feet are. We can't get caught up in thinking about weeks ahead. Just focus on the day and focus at the task at hand. And focus on your preparation, doing the little things right to put yourself in a position to be successful. So yeah, just like I said, be where your feet are at and take care of business, day by day, because that's gonna ultimately lead you and put you in the right position moving forward. So that's been the biggest message, and that's what I'm telling the guys, and that's what we're living by right now.
Mm-hmm. And just speaking about this defense, I think the main thing compared to last year is just the level of physicality, the effort of all 11 guys getting to the ball. Was there anything this offseason in the preparation, whether, it was in winter workouts or throughout the summer, anything that you guys did to prepare to just be more physical out there and go out there and punch the other team in the mouth?
Yeah, honestly, it starts off with T. White, man. Him just coming in and having that dominant mindset and that relentless mindset, it kind of speaks volumes on his behalf and what we've been able to do, out there on the field. Because that's something we harp on every day, just being relentless and finishing and finishing and finishing. So that's how we practice, and that's we continue to keep doing that. Y'all will keep seeing that will show up on Saturday. So that's something that the program has been harping on the offensive side of the ball too. Just finishing and dominating and playing with no speed and playing with dominant contact. Those are the key factors of being successful for us, and that's what we've been doing.
I wanted to know, Earl, do you know a guy named LaMarcus Joyner?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's a guy that I loved watching play, and it reminds me of how you play. You come down your heat-seeking missile, and where'd you get that physicality from? Because you're not the biggest guy on the field. You look over, I don't know, we don't have a photo next to you with Daryl Jackson. I don't know, but we got two way different sizes here, but you play with that mentality that you are the biggest guy on the field. Where do you get that from? And also, too, are you trying to also like relay that over to your teammates like Ashton Barker, who also likes to come down and hit people? Are you kind of just trying to set the mode of how this is going to look for FSU game by game?
Yeah, man, no doubt. Really, it started with my pops. My pops, playing at all levels. Just growing up, having him, work me out ever since I was younger, and just him just feeding that to me, just being dominant and being relentless and playing with, tremendous effort. Effort to take you a long way and it'll set you apart. So, just having that mindset, and every time I approach, anything that has to do with football or either that's working out in the weight room, that's my mentality. Just being relentless, and that's something that I tell and I try to bring my guys with. And that's one of the focal points. I try to hit on every single day with my guys, and I want my guys to play like that, and I want them to take heed of that, and that's how we'll play.
Mm-hmm. You've taken on a big leadership role for Florida State going into this 2025 season and throughout the offseason, just going into your second year with the program. And obviously we're up there to represent FSU at the ACC kickoff. Was that something that you wanted to do this offseason? Was that something the coaching staff challenged you to do? And what has it been like stepping up and just having a bigger voice in the locker room?
Yeah, that's definitely something that the coaches challenged me with. One day I was actually in the hot tub, just stretching my body, getting my body right or whatever. And then Coach Norvell, he walked in, he kind of, presented me the opportunity, and he wanted me to, go ahead and take that step and be that dude for the team. That's something I took heed to, and I wanted to do it. So yeah, I was excited for that opportunity. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for us and my team. And yeah.
What was your first conversation with Tony White when he came in? Because, you got the transfer portal now, a lot of players, they can go get other opportunities elsewhere. But what to you, that first conversation, obviously keeps you at Florida State, but also to how he was going to utilize you in this defense?
Yeah, T.Y. Our first conversation, he brought up the rover position. It was actually me, him, and Coach Norvell. They brought up the rover position, and I know T.Y. he hadn't seen a lot of me, so he was just basically listening to everything that Norvell had to say, and that allowed him to put me in that position. But yeah, based off everything that Norvell was telling him, that basically I was a relentless player, played with a lot of physicality, I played with a lot of effort, and that he was going to be able to do a lot of things with me, whether that's blitzing off the edge. You can put me in the box to play the run, and I can play the ball any deep part of the field. So just being at that rover position, it kind of fit me. And I was with it. I was 10 toes with it. And, I was willing to be that dude for the defense, and I'm excited for the opportunity. I can't appreciate Coach T. White enough for putting me in the right position to make plays on the field. So.
Yeah, and obviously, you've talked about Tony White and how he's changed things on this defense. But whenever you transferred to Florida State, you obviously had a familiar face on the coaching staff, and Coach Surtain, who you got to learn under in high school and then now reunite with in Tallahassee. What has that been like for you over the last year?
Oh, man, Coach Pat, he's been nothing but a blessing for me and my teammates. Him playing at the highest level, being a Pro Bowler. Just him being in the room, giving all those tips and tricks to be successful at the DB position has been a blessing. It's been second to none. And yeah, we all play for him. We all play for all the coaches, obviously. But just having Coach Pat on that back end is nothing. It's nothing ahead of that, man. It's great and it's a blessing. And we're all excited to continue to play for Coach Pat.
Who we gotta get to the fun stuff here. Who on the offensive side of the ball chirps the most? My guess is going to be Tommy. I would say, just going off of some things we were hearing in spring and the fall. But who chirps the most, and is there one that we're missing that you'd like to point out?
It's definitely Tommy. Deuce will come in, every once
Deuce,
in a
okay.
while. Deuce will come in, Squirrel, he ain't gonna say too much. He's gonna beat you. That Squirrel, he's a quiet dude. But yeah, I definitely say Tommy and Deuce, definitely those guys I like to talk about.
What was Tommy like when you first met him? And he seemed like he became an early leader, but he had to earn that. What was he doing to you? Because you'd already been on this team, but what had he done early on that kind of garnered your respect from?
Yeah, just him coming in from a different program. He set the foundation as soon as he came in. That's what I liked about him. He put his foot down and said, "This is how we're going to go about things here." And yeah, it's been great. Actually, when he came in, he was taking dudes out to eat. Just being
Yeah.
that good teammate and just building those relationships. You can see it shows up on Saturday, man. Just play all of us playing for one another. You see what that did for him and the offense. It's been good, and I can't wait to keep playing for him.
Mm-hmm.
There were obviously so many changes around this program throughout the offseason, new coaches, new guys coming in through the transfer portal and the high school ranks on the roster. But at the same time, I mean, it feels like this team has been playing for each other these first two games, and you guys are all really close. So I guess what has been the big change in the locker room for you guys to really come together like this?
Yeah, man. Everybody's just bought in, bro. Everybody's bought in. There's nobody thinking negatively or about anybody or anything. The praises are high, the energy's high in the locker room. Dudes are playing around in the locker room. After practice, play fighting and stuff like that. That's something that we didn't have last year for real. So I'm definitely excited for that, and it's been fun. Building that relationship with the guys in the locker room. It's like you said, as you see, we're all playing for each other, and it's been fun, bro. I can't lie.
I gotta bring up this hit right here. I know Bama scored on this drive. It is what it is, but this was fantastic right here coming through. What's going through your brain right about right now? Because you probably saw maybe something on film or whatever. You're doing your assignment, but take us through this play right here.
Yeah, man. I seen that. Obviously we all know where they're at. They're down here in the low red, and I seen that the back was level 3. It ultimately predicates. It's going to be a downhill run. So my alignment was kind of over him. And, I got a down block by the guard. So I feel like I had to show up. And after that, it was just ball, bro. I just came down and smashed him. That's how I'm gonna play from here on out, man. So that's that. It's really nothing to it, man. I got a down block. I just shot the gap. I hit the running back in the mouth.
Yeah, you did. What is that like in the film room afterward? Does Tony point this kind of stuff up right here, or how does that work with you?
Yeah, we call that dominant contact. So that's definitely he definitely put that up, man.
Dominant
pass on people. Yeah.
I love that dominant contact. Go ahead, Dustin.
I wanted to actually, reflect on your time at Alabama. Obviously you started off there, played the first 2 years of your college career in Tuscaloosa under Nick Saban, who, I mean, as we all know, a legend in the college football world and what he's done as a coach. Reflecting on that time with Coach Saban, is there anything that you picked up from him, like lessons that you still use to this day, and just any funny stories from your time around him?
Yeah, man. Playing for that dude, man, it was a crazy experience. My bad. But yeah, man, it was truly a blessing getting to be able to be coached by that dude, that legend. Yeah, he gave us, a whole bunch of tips and tricks, throughout my years, and I'm grateful for the experience I had with him. And yeah, but basically, the thing that stuck with me the most is just to be where your feet are at, bro. Like, don't be. His favorite thing to say was, "Don't be outcome oriented." Like, and that means like just don't worry about the outcome. Basically, just be where your feet at, bro, and take care of what you need to take care of day by day, and that's going to ultimately put you in the best position to move forward and bring you to that end goal that you're looking for. So, man, that's something I take heed to, and that's something that I abide to, and that's how I prepare myself every day. So just him, dropping that gem on me, it kind of stuck with me, and I feel like that'll lead me to be successful in the future.
Mm-hmm. Who on the, we see Gus Malzahn, and he's been around the game for a very long time. But what's it like going against him and practices? Does he also talk any, or does he kind of keep to himself and quiet? I feel like he might have some words during practices a little bit if they make a play on y'all.
Yeah, he'll give us a boom like they strike on us or something
He's
like
got
that.
the fist bump. He's
Yeah,
got
that's
the
pretty.
fist bump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely will drop a boom on you, man. But that's a legend as well, bro. But
Mhm.
nah, other than that, he doesn't really say too much. He's really to his offensive guys. He's about his business. And he kind of keeps it in his offensive corner. But if he sees us, around in the some of the defensive players around in the facility or something like that, he'll pull us to the side and say something, just give us a few gems and stuff like that. So it's definitely cool being coached by him as well, and just having a dude of that caliber around, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know, you guys are focused on taking this thing 1 week at a time. You never want to look ahead. You've got games coming up against Kent State. You're going to travel to Virginia. But that game against Miami in Tallahassee in early October, it looks like it's shaping up to be a good one. And, you're a South Florida guy. You got a chance to play in this rivalry last year. We'll keep it kind of quiet, but obviously your dad played over there at Miami during his days. So just what does this rivalry mean to you, and how big would it be to get back on the right foot after last year?
Yeah, man, this rivalry means a lot to me and my family, and obviously this program, and to you guys as well that watch the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all excited for the experience. I'm damn sure excited for the experience. To play against those guys again, man, and just be able to put Florida State football on display. I won't go into too many details about it, but we're definitely excited for the opportunity, to play those guys in dope.
What's the conversation between you and your dad going into that game? With you being on the FSU side, him having the Miami ties, how's that go?
Man, he doesn't really give me a hard time about it for real. But we definitely chat. We'll chat about the game. You know what I'm saying? He unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell the Miami fans, but he's definitely gonna have my jersey on when we play. So everything is good when it comes to that. We'll chirp about it here and there, but he doesn't really give me a hard time. At the end of the day, I'm his boy. He's gonna support me, every step of the way. So that's that.
Earl, tell me somebody, and I want to talk about Usman Chroma a little bit, but someone that gives you some fits on tackling, someone that you're having to take down on that offensive side of the ball, and maybe a little teaser in what FSU fans should be looking forward to seeing more of in number 32 with Usman Chroma, who plays with a lot of physicality, and I know you like that on the defensive side, so you got to have that respect, I would imagine, for this young freshman that seems to be a future star in the making.
Yeah, Usman, he's gonna be a problem in the future. I'm not even talking, bro. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, the other day in practice, we got something called perimeter drill. Like, he'll come up to me, tell me, I inspire him, how hard I work and everything, and he'll come and ask me about questions, as far as the safeties coming down, taking different angles and stuff like that, to better his game. So I kind of respect that about Us, but this particular day the other day, the man really tried to hurdle me. He tried to jump over me in practice. Like, Us is a freak, bro. Y'all just getting a little glimpse of what he can do, but I'm telling you, he's different. He's different. I'm excited for him, and I'm excited to play beside him, man.
You pulled down your first career interception on Saturday, and you also had another guy in Jerry Wilson pick off his first pass in a Florida State uniform. I wanted to ask you because, early on, whenever we got to speak to Jerry, he was talking about how he comes in very early around 5 a.m., 5:15 to watch film. And he said a lot of the guys had begun to join him in the defensive backfield, including you. Was that something that you had already started to do before Jerry arrived? And just with his work ethic, do you feel like that's just inspired the rest of the guys on the defense?
Yeah, that's something that I've been doing. And when he came, why not? Why not go upstairs and watch film with each other? We're on the field at the same time. And we definitely brought some dudes with us. I'm saying it's a couple of dudes that came up there and watched tape with us, early in the morning, just doing what we have to do to put us in the best position. But Jerry, he's definitely a great, attribute to our defense. And I'm excited that, Coach T.Y. and, Coach Norvell brought him along because, he's the juice man. He plays with a lot of energy. Whether that's if he comes down and sets the edge on the tackle, because he's not the biggest dude. That's what I love about him, man. He plays with so much heart and so much passion. You have no choice but to respect it, bro. And his work, speaks for it, speaks volumes. So he's definitely inspired the group, and he's definitely always uplifting the guys and pushing us forward. So that's something that I love about that dude.
Yeah, I think Jerry's a great addition so far. Love the way that he played. And I think you two match that same type of mentality that you want to have on that defensive side of the ball that Tony White just keeps bringing week by week for you guys. But I appreciate you, Earl, hopping on. But we got to talk about Popeyes on here.
Yeah,
Dustin's got he's got some remarks too. It was actually the Miami game that we went to, and we actually slid by Popeyes afterward, and we got a meal over there. But you've got a partnership with them that you announced, which is awesome. I want to read off something though for fans that can help out Earl and getting to the very top. But here's the details here. From September 9th through November 8th, each Popeyes NIL athlete will receive an individual digital promo code for Popeyes Rewards members to enjoy 12 wings for $12, which is a great deal nowadays. I love wings, but that's a great deal. Fans who redeem the athletes' promo codes will help them climb up the leaderboard. The athlete with the most fan participation, an example, most code redemptions, will score big at the end of the season with a fully catered tailgate celebration for their fans during rivalry week, bringing better wings straight to campus. I'll throw the code up here now for everybody if you guys do help out Earl here. Little 12 down below. I got to ask you, Earl, what's the go-to meal though for you? What's the go-to meal for the Earl Little package? What we got?
Man, when I hit up Popeyes, definitely got to get me personally, I love the chicken tenders. I love chicken tenders. So I tap in with the chicken tenders. I got to get me a side of red beans and rice. I got to get me a side of mac and cheese. You can't go wrong with the biscuits, man. You throw some jelly or honey on the biscuits, man. You got yourself a meal, man. I'm telling you, got yourself a meal in that right there.
You got a go-to sauce?
I forgot what this particular sauce is called, but it's essentially sweet and sour, or sweet and spicy, something like that. I forgot the exact name, but that's definitely my go-to.
Dealer, what's yours? What would you get in the Popeyes drive-through?
They used to have the chocolate chip biscuit, but I think it was just a special one-time thing. I'm hoping they'll bring that back onto the menu at some point. But Earl, I did want to ask you, this NIL partnership with Popeyes, it seems pretty perfect since they're highlighting 10 college football players around the country who have gone from backups to starters in the 2025 season. I wanted to ask you, after a 2024 season that maybe didn't go how you were expecting, what kind of motivation and did you have going into this offseason to make that kind of jump?
Yeah, man, just being better, whether that's, taking ownership of things you're doing off the field, or to put yourself in a position to be successful throughout the course of a year. So, man, yeah, just being better and taking care of things that you have to do, bro. That's really it, man.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, Earl, appreciate it a ton for you hopping on here with us. Also, to shout out to Popeyes and everybody involved as well for allowing us to have this opportunity to interview you. You stay healthy. Wishing the best of luck for you guys and your team, and keep representing the way that you're doing. And best of luck for the rest of the season, man.
No doubt. Y'all use that promo code, man. And hey, it's online. It's online. So if you guys want to, do online orders or anything like that, that's the only way you can use the promo code. So I encourage y'all to go online and use the promo code so we can, have that big celebration during rivalry week, man.
Yep. Y'all make sure to tap in and go support Earl.
Heck yeah, man. Well, Earl, appreciate it a ton. Thanks, everybody, for watching as well. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Hear the Spirit. We'll see you guys next week as we prepare for Florida State versus Kent State in the third game of the season. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's weekend. Peace.